Here are 15 of the best Ask Reddit stories for today. I hope you enjoy and remember to subscribe. It really helps us out. We post new videos every day.
Men with a partner, how often you look at her and just say, "Damn." We regularly go for late-night drives. It always takes my breath away when we drive under a lamppost or a traffic light and I watch the colors wash over her face. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, and it's what I think about whenever we have a rough patch. Every day. Every day she comes to bed, strips, and I stop reading to enjoy looking at my wife. She tells me, "You've seen it loads, can't be that exciting now," and I tell her I've seen the sunset loads, it's still beautiful to me. Whether she's happy and playing and smiling, whenever she walks in front of me in tight jeans, whenever she's wearing anything with cleavage ever. Doesn't matter if she only just woken up and she thinks she looks a mess, still the most beautiful woman in the world to me, often. I put a bow on her head today and told her I was gonna take her up the bedroom and unwrap her. Every time I look at our checking account. What's the dumbest thing someone has ever said to you? That we don't need farmers because we have grocery stores. I live in a rural area. A friend of mine asked me why we didn't see stars when we flew over them. She truly believed that when you were flying on an airplane, you flew over the stars. I was speechless. That the Golden Gate Bridge connects North America and Europe. Yeah, don't even ask. A guy asked me if Hitler was before or after Second World War. We are both native Germans. Wait, you're Asian? I thought you said you were Vietnamese. Someone once said that they couldn't wait for Halloween to fall on Friday the 13th. It's going to be extra spooky that year. Last month a coworker asked if I'll run out of blood eventually because I donate every couple months. He's 34 years old. Some guy on a Discord server insisted Pakistan is in Africa. I told him that Pakistan is in Asia and he called me racist and had a little rant. Isn't it amazing how dogs just come out knowing commands like sit and lay down? The man was stone cold serious. I don't know if an egg is a fruit or vegetable. Fair question if you think it comes from an eggplant. Women, what man fact did you only learn about when you started dating one?
I grew up with my lesbian mother and my younger sister. The intricacies of men continue to astound me. I did not know that men cannot always fully control the stream when they pee. I did not know about split streams. I had no idea about the funny positions they have to get into to pee with a hard-on. I was delighted to know that most penises are not 8 inches or longer and as big around as my wrist. Porn and my mother's scare tactics had me very afraid. I had no idea they could fart so much or take such pleasure in doing so. I did not realize how much of a difference being male makes in upper body strength. I'm pretty strong and do really physical work, but my tall, scrawny, programmer boyfriend can pin me down, one-handed, near effortlessly. Not to mention lifting me up and pinning me to the wall. No complaints, of course. I had no idea I was getting a human furnace when I started dating my significant other. He is so amazingly warm all the time. I know when he gets up in the night to pee because I wake up cold. I did not realize a person could be so completely fascinated by boobs. I mean, sure, they are nice, but they're just boobs.
What's a tip that everyone should know which might one day save their life? Put toilet paper in your cars. I once saw a man taking a roadside emergency dump while holding onto a tire to keep from falling back into the demon he was releasing. I immediately checked for toilet paper and it has not left my vehicles since. Chew carefully and well if you're eating steak alone. Additionally, learn to perform the Heimlich on yourself using a chair. If in a relationship, if someone gets angry enough to raise a hand to you once, leave. If you're hiking/doing anything else outdoors alone, tell someone where you're going and when you should be back. If you become incapacitated, this will increase survival chances by a lot. Do not jump in the water to save a drowning person unless absolutely necessary, as in a child etc. Drowning people tend to clasp on their rescuers and drag them under with them. Find something to throw or some sort of lifeline. Unless there is a danger in doing so, stay in your car if you're stranded in the desert/snow. Calm people live, tense people die. The most important thing you can ever do in a potentially life-threatening situation is breathe, when possible, and focus on doing things calmly. You can always freak out later. Panic after you survive. What's the difference between girlfriend and wife? A great girlfriend is one you want to make a wife. A great wife is one who never stops being your girlfriend. In my opinion, you have a lot more flexibility with a girlfriend in terms of the kinds of women that can fill that role. You can manage with a girlfriend that's a little unstable, doesn't have a healthy lifestyle, or has some questionable baggage. With a wife, stability becomes the most important thing. Divorce is so detrimental that it's more important for your wife to be stable and healthy than it is for her to be super exciting and fun. Your wife is a life partner who you're invested in. Your fates are linked to a large degree. A girlfriend isn't much different than a friend. You can cut them out for free if they start being a net negative in your life. Realistically, should be nothing more than a ceremony and a title. If she doesn't fulfill your needs as a girlfriend, she certainly won't after a marriage. The wife doesn't know about the girlfriend, but the girlfriend knows about the wife. Men, what is love? When you feel like you're home. This is it for me too. Although a recent book I was reading said it's a good idea to build a home within yourself too. Giving someone the power to destroy you and trusting them not to. This is so true. Sometimes it scares me how quickly my husband could destroy me, but then I'm comforted to know that he would never do that. When you know that the other person deserves the best and you want to be that. Love is not giving up when things get difficult. Love is investing your time in someone. Well, it's a feedback loop. The two of you should be constantly reciprocating affection, appreciation, and services. Sex isn't a service BTW, that's supposed to be affection at its highest form. I'm getting a divorce, but I still love my wife. Not in love, the want of divorce is mutual, but I still hope she finds happiness and peace in her life. She's the mother of my children after all. It's a four-letter word you can use in various ways that are mostly positive. What common attractive trait can you absolutely not stand? Guys with rock-hard huge cocks. I prefer women.
Very muscular men. It's hot when they look fit and healthy, but after a certain point it looks ridiculous and unnatural.
When you get so muscular, your shoulders make it look like you're a smaller guy poking out of the top of a bigger guy. That's when it starts to get to be a bit much, in my opinion.
Being obsessed with hustle culture. Hustle culture people to me usually translate to I have no hobbies and nothing else gives me joy than working. Obviously, if that's how they want to live, then have it. No disrespect as long as they don't try to sell me stuff. People who are too adventurous. Their dating profile is only pictures of skydiving and mountain climbing. They've been to 60 countries. They run marathons. I simply can't keep up with that. I'm turned off by the idea of waking up at 6 a.m. and putting on a scuba suit.
I'm not sure it's classified as common, but the whole diaper butt look. I'm an ass man, but that shit is whack. Just be au natural and rock what you were given. Big butts need big thighs too. Being spontaneous. If we're going somewhere, I want it planned. Don't call me at the last minute. The media paints them as exciting, but it's just unsettling for me.
Skipping the friend phase. No, I don't want yo dick, sir. I want you to tell me awkward stories from your childhood first. Damn right, trying to go from strangers to dating with nothing in between is weird as hell to me. Doesn't exactly make finding a partner easy.
What's a stereotype about men you can't help but silently agree with? Some men's entire lives are based around getting the approval of women. Nothing he actually does is for himself or his own happiness. It's literally all to get and keep a woman. We don't grow up, we just get bigger toys. Every man I know still loves Lego. I'm driving the truck I had on my bedroom wall at age 12. We all want a flamethrower. Monster trucks are still cool, and I'd give 3 fingers on my left hand for a real lightsaber. That whole thing about men congregating around the grill, an open car hood, or somebody fixing something. I have no clue why we do it, but I've found myself and other men just have a sense for when something isn't working. We're not necessarily helping at all, just happy to be a part of the process. That we typically want a woman to come take care of us if we are sick. As men get older, it becomes increasingly difficult to maintain friendships with other men. For us, doing nothing is doing something. The nothing box is a real thing. Time spent doing nothing is rarely wasted. John Lennon. How did your high school crush turn out as an adult? She married a successful guy who is now an executive vice president in a large company that everyone is familiar with. She's rich and travels the world. She sure dodged a bullet. Oh, self-burn. I had 2. One lives in Nashville now with a boyfriend. She's always been very interesting and up for adventure. Lived in a few cool places with a few cool jobs. We cross paths every once in a while, always good to get caught up. The other is asleep in our bedroom with our cat. We've just come back from a great vacation. We are in a really good place building a wonderful life together. She's a childhood friend and I had a thing for her forever since we grew up together. Honestly, I eventually realized she had the intelligence of a brick. She ended up marrying the son of the largest meth dealer in the area. He was in the business too, but something about them just worked. He was always good to her and quit using and dealing altogether. They're extremely happy with a few kids and I couldn't be happier for them. She deserves to be happy. Still sexy as fuck. We made a baby. You lucky motherfucker. Let's pretend each country in the world is a guest at a party. What are they doing at the party? England turns up already hammered, holding an unopened 6-pack. China, recording everyone and everything. America is shooting guns into the air and asking if everyone is saved. Switzerland is holding two guys' beers while they watch the two fight each other. The Belgian couple, one Dutch-speaking, one French-speaking, are bickering all the time about who does more of the housework. They brought amazing food and beer, but nobody noticed and France ended up getting the credit. Australia, getting hammered and trying to talk to everyone about sport. No sport in particular, just sport. Ireland is having a sing-song in the corner. Nah, Ireland already left the party without saying goodbye. Sweden is scared of everyone and only hangs/follows where Norway and Finland go. Norway and Finland also keeping the peace between Sweden and Denmark. Nigerians criticizing everyone's dance steps just because. I am Nigerian and I can't even be mad because that is true. What is the absolute best piece of gossip you have ever heard? Like, ever?
A friend of mine broke up with her boyfriend and slept with this guy who she had the biggest crush on for years. A few days later she started getting a burning in her vagina. She thought it was a yeast infection. Nope. It was herpes. However, the guy she slept with had never had a herpes outbreak prior to the current one, so his herpes was new too. Where did guy A get the herpes from? He slept with a woman who had a recent herpes outbreak. This woman also slept with guy A's father and is now pregnant. But where did the herpes originally come from? From guy A's father. So to sum up, this woman is now pregnant. They don't know if the child's father is father or son, and now everyone has herpes.
What the fuck? That is insane.
With the 2020s going down the history as the roaring what the forks would event wouldn't surprise you if it were to happen now. Contact with aliens, except it's not from above, but from the oceans like a B movie. Hey, The Abyss is a solid B+ movie. Aliens apologizing for throwing rocks at Earth. The dinosaurs weren't too happy about that one. Jesus Christ actually comes back, miracles and all. Conservatives turn on him for being too liberal, then reinstate crucifixions. Whoever created the tradition of not seeing the bride in the wedding dress beforehand saved countless husbands everywhere from hours of dress shopping and will forever be a hero to all men. It saves every man from the argument of, girl, how does this one look? Boy, fine. Girl, why just fine? I love this. Why don't you like this? Boy, but I said it was fine. Girl, you don't love it? Boy.
I accidentally got my GF addicted to kissing me. For the past month, I, 24M, have been trying to quit smoking by using nicotine mints. This has been awesome for my GF, 24F, because she has always hated whenever I smoked around her. Over the course of the month, I have constantly had a nicotine mint throughout the day to help battle cravings, including during fun time. Recently, I've noticed that my GF has been extra lovey, constantly giving me pecks and wanting to make out. I asked her what changed since she had been going a little over the top. She told me, I don't know. I just get this head rush when I kiss you and constantly feel fidgety and anxious, and the only way to stop it is to give you a kiss. Therefore, I have come to the conclusion that I somehow transfer nicotine to her through saliva and have inadvertently gotten her addicted to it. She has now built a mental connection between kissing and the rush from the nicotine. Note, none of this was on purpose, obviously an IDK if I should tell her or not.
Blowed thousands worth of money for my girlfriend, I do not regret it. She likes gaming, but sadly all she had is a shitty Acer laptop, so she's mostly stuck on mobile games, or borrow my PC if I'm not working/playing. Today is her birthday and she is at work. I've installed her a PC next to mine so we can game together, complete with a set of her favorite games, DMC specifically. She really loves Virgil for some reason, also Genshin Impact, Elden Ring, The Witcher, etc. I can't wait for a girlfriend to come home and see her reaction. Update: girlfriend just got home 1 hour ago. Blindfoldedly I led her to our gaming room. When she saw it, the look on her face were priceless. She could not stop smiling, her eyes were teary. Girlfriend hugged me very hard and kisses me a lot before she started to boot up the PC. She's happily playing some of the games right now, while crying and giggling at the same time. Joyously looking back and forth at me in the monitor with a smile. I hope this kind of day would last forever, and I would be with her till the end of time. I love her so much.
Am I the asshole for saying counting on your fingers in the office would be embarrassing? To give a little context, me and my GF were driving, and to make the time pass quicker we were playing spelling bee. She would say a word and I would spell it out. After some time back and forth, we switched to me asking her how to do some maths questions. Namely calculating the price after a percentage discount has been applied. After a few questions, I noticed that she was counting on her fingers to help her solve those questions that me seemed easy, and I can do that in my head. Now I have no problem with her using whatever method to work out the answer. However, while she was counting on her fingers, I said, it would be embarrassing if you did that in the office. After that it was silence in the car and some arguing. I don't feel like what I said is wrong, as I wasn't making fun of her for counting on her fingers. I was just stating that in an office environment counting on your fingers would be embarrassing. Am I the asshole?